Taylor Swift gave the speech when she was the first ever recipient of Billboard's Woman of the Decade Award on the evening of December 12th, 2019, in Hollywood, California. She rolls back the curtain on what it's really like being a woman in this music industry and society. So why did I pick this speech? I'm just a white girl from Wisconsin. I could have picked hundreds of thousands of other speeches. I could have picked racial injustice or 0 to 1,000. But I decided to pick this speech because Taylor Swift is a role model for little girls and boys in third world countries, to teenagers in the Midwest, to even A-list stars. We all have one thing in common: to keep pushing down that wall and to keep making art. I'm Taylor Swift. Good evening. First, thank you so much to Billboard for giving me this honor and naming me Woman of their Decade. So what does it mean to be the Woman of the Decade? Well, it means I've seen a lot. My second album, Fearless, came out at the start of this decade when I was 20 years old. From this album, I saw songs like Love Story and You Belong With Me push to #1 for the first time. From that experience, I saw that as a young female in this industry, people will have slight reservations about you. Whether you're deserving to be at #1, whether your male producer co-writer is the reason for your success, or whether it's a savvy record label. I saw that people love to explain the way to a woman's success in the music industry. I saw something in me change visualization. In this decade, I became a mirror for my detractors. Whatever they said I couldn't do is exactly what I did. And this reflected directly than just on my lyrics. When Fearless did win Album of the Year at the Grammys, and I did become the youngest solo artist to ever win that award, came criticism and backlash like I've never seen before as a young new artist. Suddenly, people had doubts about my singing voice. Was I strong enough? Was I a bit pitchy? Was I even the one writing the songs? Because in the past, I did have co-writers in the room. At the time, I didn't understand why the wave of harsh criticism hit me so hard. A popular headline back then was the Swift Backlash, which is clever, you gotta give it to them. But then I realized that this is what happens to women in this industry if they achieve success or power beyond people's comfort levels. I have come to expect with good news comes some sort of pushback, but I didn't know that then. Right then and there, I decided I would be the only songwriter on my third album, Speak Now, and that I would work constantly and practice my vocals every day and perfect my stamina in live shows. I decided I would be what they said I couldn't be. But I did realize that soon enough, people will just decide on something else I wasn't quite doing right next. Then the cycle would continue. On, and I keep accommodating and overcorrecting to appease my critics. Then it turned into, I'm dating too much in my 20s? Okay, I'll be single. Now they're saying my album Red is filled with too many breakup songs? Okay. I'll make one about moving to New York and deciding my life is way more better with friends. Oh, now they're saying my music is changing too much to sing country music? Okay, it's gonna be okay. I'll do a whole genre shift in a pop album called 1989. Now I'm a calculated manipulator rather than a smart businesswoman? Okay, I'll disappear from public view for years. Now I'm cast as the villain? Okay, here's an album called Reputation where there's lots of snakes everywhere. Yuck. In the past 10 years, I've watched as women in this industry are criticized and measured up to each other via their body types, romantic lives, and fashion choices. Have you ever heard someone say these things about a male artist? No, because that criticism is reserved for us. But I learned that those who can continue to create art in this climate usually come down to this. They just keep going. No matter the hills they have to climb, no matter the ditches they have to dig, they just keep going. I watched as one of my favorite artists of this decade, Lana Del Rey, was ruthlessly criticized for her incredible album, which is nominated for Album of the Year at the Grammys, because she continued to create art in this climate. This example should inspire all of us that the only way forward is forward motion. We shouldn't let obstacles like criticism slow down the creative forces that drive us. In this decade, women in music have dominated in growth, streaming, and ticket sales. So why are we doing so well? Well, we have to grow fast, work hard, and prove that we're deserving, and top our life achievements. Women in music are not allowed to coast. We are held to a higher standard, sometimes an impossible feeling standard. My fellow female artists have accepted this challenge, and what could have crushed us, instead, made us into diamonds. And what didn't kill us, actually made us stronger. But we need to keep protecting women, because rather than fighting to take us seriously in our respective fields, women are struggling to even be in the room. I will say that in 10 years, I've seen a forward step in our industry. Our inclusion and ability to start calling out unfairness and misconduct. I've also seen how social media can boost the breakthrough of emerging artists, and I've seen how fans have become more engaged and supportive than ever before. I've leaned on that support, and it's kept me in a place where no matter what, I've always wanted to keep making music for them. When I was 25, I was doing a speech where I said, I really feel like we need to offer something to this younger generation of musicians, because somewhere, right now, today, your future Woman of the Year is probably sitting in a piano lesson or in an all-girls choir. And tonight, today, we need to protect her. Since then, I've learned that in that exact moment, an 11-year-old girl from California really was sitting in a piano lesson and really was in an all-girls choir. And tonight, today, she was named Woman of the Year at age 17. Her name was Billie. With this knowledge, I've been focusing less on what they say I can't do and more on whatever the hell I want to do. Thank you for a happy, free, confusing, sometimes lonely, but mostly golden decade. I am honored to be here tonight. Thank you so much.